think the midweek bye came at a good time for your team?
You know, who knows? I mean, I think we got some work done. Hopefully, got a little rested, but we knew we had to get some work done, and we've tried to do that, not just with any one particular area. Just again, trying to get guys, each player to get where we need them, because we still know we're going to need every one of them, and so from that point of view, I think it's been good for us.
Rick, how do you coach consistency?
Really hard. You know, you talk about it a lot, and you know, and what it is simply this: you got to get up. I made the statement to him yesterday that if what you did yesterday still looks big to you, that means you haven't done anything today. It's all about improving. Our whole goal here has always been to get better each and every day, because I do know this: if you're not getting better, you're getting worse because of the competition, the level that we're at, and it's simply but I ask the players why they can't understand that, and they don't know the answer. I know the answer, and the answer is it's hard. It's hard to try to improve every day. It's hard to get up and take a good hard look at yourself and understand that, man, I got to grind this out again and find a way to push through it. But that's what, again, separates good teams from great teams, and not just basketball, in any profession.
You talked after the Illinois game about not feeling like y'all can take what y'all do in the practice floor to games. Do you still feel that way? Is that still an issue with this team?
Yeah, to some extent. And again, it still goes back to, as coaches, we're going to continue to teach and hope they get it. But, you know, you can practice and practice, but when the lights come on, you've got to be able to handle that. And we have at times. We have. It's just been consistency, you know, and that's something that's hard for, I think, obviously coaches to understand. I think it's really hard for players to understand, because I don't think they don't want to do it. I just think that it's very, very hard. And to separate yourself, to want to be special, to continue to strive towards your goals, there's got to be something there that just makes you get up every day knowing that I've got to get better. And it's not just going through the motions. I mean, you can't mistake activity for achievement. You've got to put your whole heart, soul, and mind into it, and pursue it as hard as you can. And that's what separates, as you continue to go up the ladder, why there's very few guys that make it to the highest level. They're the ones that are able to do it, and the ones that can stay there a long time. There's something about them that they get up every day knowing I've got to keep going because there's somebody trying to take my job.
You prepare for Alabama like normal, or does it change with the whole Charles Bediako stuff?
No, we do it the same way. We're going to prepare. You know, obviously we talked about him personnel like we would anybody else, and that's the extent of it.
What's your view on these G League guys trying to come back and get college eligibility?
You know, I don't, and I'm not making this comment based on this case or whatever happened earlier. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. It's to me, it's simply, you know, everybody comes to college and they have college eligibility. When you make the choice to give up your college eligibility, you've given it up. And I don't care if it's someone that has been in the service, come back once they start that clock and they make that choice, they've made that choice. And sometimes, and we know this, that some of those choices haven't been good through the years. And I can say that with some of the players that I've coached. And they would tell you that if they were standing here. But once you make the choice, you made the choice. And without diving deep into it, because we could sit here all day and talk about all the different angles, this, that, or whatever, but just in a nutshell, that's what I think. Once you make that choice to leave college, you've made that choice.
Would you stay true to that fundamental, or if this rule becomes more prevalent, do you in roster assembly start looking at it in a different light?
Well, yeah, well, you have to adapt. I mean, there's no doubt that's the key to all this is you have to adapt to it. I think for us older coaches have been in it a long time, and we can go back to the days where, you know, the NCAA would, you felt like they were watching every move, secret police, and now you wonder what's going on. But I think it's out of the hands of the NCAA when judges start stepping in. I mean, what can they do? And I don't know where it has got to this point, to be honest. I don't know where it's going to end, but all I can say is whatever the rules become or whatever they fold into, we have to adapt, whether we like it or not. But we've also got to be true to the guys that we recruit. You know, when you go out and recruit them, you make a commitment to them, and I don't know if we'll per se say save a scholarship if something like this should happen. I like to think that once we start in the spring with the team that we have and we know the roster, because you know what, it was there is no doubt that Ethan and Clarence, JP and Jalen, they missed a lot. You know, they missed a lot, and they really want to do the right thing for us. They want to work and play, and we believe in them. But they missed a lot of basketball, so I can't imagine trying to add someone to the roster in the middle of the season. Personally, I can't, because we're trying to continue to get this group and that we believe in with our whole heart. So you adapt, but it's still, you'll have to have your own philosophical philosophy in terms of how you see it.
Rick, with Dwayne, he was smack dab in the middle of 2 SEC programs, but really you and Mississippi State were the only ones to recruit him. What do you feel that you all saw in him that maybe others didn't?
Well, you know, Greg Polinsky is watching. That's one thing I've said before. Our coaches have been around a long time. You know, we don't go by the ratings of anybody else. We don't. We're gonna rate players ourselves and know what we're looking for. And from the very get-go, GP loved the fact that he played for some great high school coaches, and he was really well coached. When you've been in the game as long as he has, as long as a lot of my staff has, you often you feel comparisons to guys and what you see, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But he went to bat for Dwayne from the beginning. He said, you know, hey, this is what I see, this is where I see him. And his Dwayne came on quicker than we thought he has. And again, that's a compliment to him, his work ethic, his people around him, his high school coaches. He came in, and from the get-go, you know, you get surprised every year by somebody. He was a big surprise. And but GP saw him early, and that's happened with a lot of our guys here. You know, that when we see guys early, and I think I've said it before, our staff is older, been around the game a long time, and we trust their evaluation. I certainly do, and I count on. And when I talked to them about him, I said, it's your call. You know, you worked it, you know what it is, and you know what we're trying to get done here. And I can remember GP saying he's all about us, and we're certainly glad that we have it.
On Bediako, there's been some people who've said if 22-year-old professionals in Europe can come play college basketball, why is it any different for Americans? Like, I guess, what's your perspective on that thought process?
Well, I don't know if I have a problem with age. I don't that, because, you know, there's some religious affiliations that kids go on mission trips, they're gone, they come back, whatever it might be. My whole is what I said, once you make that commitment to enroll in college, you know, and you decide to walk away from it, you've made a decision. And so again, like I said, we could talk all day about comparing this, comparing that. You could ask me, what if I were in a situation where we were really, really struggling, and I had a chance to bring KD back? Would I bring him back? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite here, you know, but that's, you know, we're talking really different things, different ways we could go. And I hate it. I hate it for players, because sometimes when they choose to leave, they've gotten some bad advice and bad information, and they make the decision based on that. But I will say this too: there's a lot of decisions in my life that I made I wish I could go back and fix. I really do. And so I think every case can be different. But the age limit, I don't know if we can talk about that for, you know, various different things. But and do I think that players should have 5 years to play college? Absolutely, and they should know that coming in. But once they decide they're out, they're out.
Have you talked to KD about the possibility?
Well, I could talk to a couple more maybe, you know. but believe me, I love our team. I love the fact these guys are continuing to work, and I can say for this particular team, even though we don't have a scholarship, we would not add to this roster, because we're going to ride this horse, and we're going to go with it because we believe in it.
What stands out about this Alabama team?
One of Nate's most efficient offenses. You know, they really can score the basketball, and you know, a guy, again, Nate totally believes in his system, how they play, and because of it, you know, they're never out of a game because they can explode at any point in time. And you know, he does the job that he always does, getting his guys to buy into what he wants them to do.
When you talk about consistency with this team and how tough it is, how much tougher is it with how new the team is this year?
Well, you expect some of it, you know, when you have young people and you have guys, young players, you have some older guys too that haven't had a chance to compete at this level against, you know, quality competition every night. So you do expect some of it, you really do, and sometimes it goes back to you're hoping that some guys that maybe are older grasp it quicker. Younger guys only know what they know, but when you bring together as many players as we had, but we've proven we can do it. It's just a matter of doing it for 40 minutes.
On Dwayne, I know you say starting and benching players doesn't really matter as much to you, but how do you think he responded to?
He did well, you know. Again, and again, you talk about consistency. Sometimes you expect that with younger guys, and what the biggest thing that you're trying to get more than anything is just a great mental and physical effort in terms of and like I said, it's hard. It's really hard when for young guys to understand how hard it is to sustain it for a long period of time, especially when you're tired. So young guys are learning how to fight through that. Older guys, I think, should already know how to handle, you know, cardio toughness. You know, when they get tired, how to play through it. The longer you play, that shouldn't even be an issue, really. But the fact is, he was great coming back, and he had a really good practice yesterday. And Dwayne's a great teammate, great team player, and this is all new to him. But he's trying every day to continue to get better, and he's going to have a great career because of the way he approaches things.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you,
Richard.
guys.